Hello and welcome to the Minutes Network AMA. My name is Matthew Walsh and I'll be your host for today's session. Before we begin, I would like to say thank you to everybody here today, whether you are new to Minutes Network or have been with us from the start. Your support and engagement are greatly appreciated. Minutes Network continues to expand its telecom presence, strengthening infrastructure and building relationships across the global carrier ecosystem. At the same time, development across the network continues to progress as we move closer to the next stage of expansion. To begin today's session, Josh will be sharing an opening update on the current progress and direction of Minutes Networks. Joining the discussion alongside Josh will be members of the wider team, including Jamie King, Dragos Kalaman, Alex, and Omri Lachman. This will be more of an open and free-flowing session rather than a strict speaking order. So after the opening remarks, we'll move into updates and discussion with the team, followed by community questions, and then open the floor to live questions from the audience. So Josh, over to you to share your updates.
Thank you very much, Matthew. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you to everyone who has joined us today. You are very welcome here. We appreciate your time and ongoing support. Minutes Network is very much in a power growth stage as we transgress and progress through the various items on the existing milestone roadmap, which was published, or an update was published on earlier last week. So the Minutes Network roadmap outlines the progressive rollout of telecommunications infrastructure, developer tools, carrier monetization platforms, global traffic expansion throughout 2026. The milestones that are in the roadmap, some of them are new, some of them are old, some of them are ongoing, some of them are expected to close very, very soon. And I just would like to take the time to actually dive into the roadmap before we get to questions. And I'll take the time on each topic to give a detailed update. If we do have any questions throughout the show, if you would kindly drop them on social media, or if you could press request to speak, you won't be interrupting me. You'll be adding content for those who would like to hear answers. Okay, so Jingle Pakistan, let's start there. We're doing things differently. Jingle is a plugin, as you know, and the new Jingle website, the new Jingle SDK, add-ons with all of the complementary features will be demoable on the Play Store later in the month or at the beginning of April. So we're excited for that demo to hit, as are many of our existing partners and the folk who are integrating as well. Some very large names currently integrating the application. As you know, Jingle has been an ongoing, an ongoing release in different phases, and we're very excited about where we're heading now. We're very close to a mega milestone, let's call it, where we deploy Jingle in Pakistan. It goes live, and we see those results reflecting on the Explorer, and I'll touch on the Explorer just later in this call. So, the difference between Jingle Pakistan and the difference between Jingle with applications. With applications, we have an awful lot of applications that are in various stages of deployment and integration. However, they work at their own speed. They work at their own pace, especially the larger ones. They're very difficult to push, although we are pushing them non-stop. And we're getting, to a very good place with some of the extremely large applications, such as the UK gaming company that was mentioned on the previous calls, and also Boss Revolution, SEW, names that you're all hopefully familiar with. The difference is Jingle Pakistan relies upon frequent callees being onboarded. Now, what does that mean? We are taking the frequent callees on a network, people that are being called often. There's a lot of volume in these calls. There's a lot of revenue in these calls. These are not just users. These are not users that might receive a call once a month. They might never receive an international call. Obviously, when you onboard an application, you don't know how many of those users actually receive international calls unless you're able to sort of do a profiling exercise prior to the engagement of the live integration, which in not all cases are you able to do. It's okay when you have 1 billion users coming on, as with some of the applications we're onboarding, because then you can imagine that we get quite a large, widespread, broad sphere of users. However, in this case, right, in the frequent callees, we don't need that broad sort of spectrum of users in order to pick up those who are receiving international calls often and extract revenue from them. Obviously, Jingle improves the connection for everybody. It improves the connection for the carrier. It improves the connection for the user. It improves the connection for the person making the call. And it also improves the price margin and our revenues as a company, right? So it's for everybody involved. I do apologize, just ignoring an incoming call there. So actually, Jingle Pakistan, with the frequent callees that are being onboarded, we're in a luxurious position, okay? We have an LDI that we purchased with our partners and World Mobile earlier last year. And with that LDI, we have an awful lot of traffic running on the switches that we're able to take those users and we are able to run various campaigns and run various marketing programs in order to bring them onto Jingle as an active endpoint, which we are doing so. The massive campaigns are just starting now. We have been onboarding a couple of users, here and there, testing the different technologies, not the Jingle technologies, but the onboarding of frequent callee technologies, as well as looking at our conversion rates and assessing the difference between the conversion rates under the different campaigns. Obviously, different users like different things. There's a limited amount of information that we know on each user. However, we're able to sort of, or we're using that information to be able to make the best out of the onboarding experience for these users and ensure we get as many as possible, because they're all very valuable, unlike applications users, as I said earlier in this call. So taking the value out of the frequent callees and bringing it onto Minutes Network, that is the immediate future for Jingle. The new Explorer is ready and will be live today. You will see the numbers grow on the Explorer today. The amount of users in Pakistan under Jingle remains very low because these campaigns are just ramping up now. We expect the first massive ramp up in the week to come. We don't know how many of these frequent callees we're going to have on week one, but we can tell you that we fine-tuned the conversion rates and we're very happy with what we see. The local partners are excited, just as excited as we are. We all understand that this is a massive revenue generative play, and this is new to the world of telecommunications. We do have a large amount of countries lined up after Jingle Pakistan's success. They will not wait for, how to put it, they will not wait for the end of the onboarding phase in Pakistan, because there will be no end. We will continuously onboard new users in Pakistan, frequent callees, and as many as possible. The other thing I'd like to add is that all of the applications, the smaller applications that we've collected in Pakistan over the last couple of years, they can also go live as well, because they work in a combinative effect. And, in that combined effect, we are able to access a plethora of users. The more users, the better. The absolute better, right? So we're in a delightful position. I'm very excited to see the revenue grow. I'm very excited to see the number of users in Pakistan that are online grow. We're not in a position where we have to go searching for traffic. We have that traffic actively on the network to terminate against these users. So we're in a very luxurious position. Very, very excited indeed. You will see the Explorer go live today. The Jingle API endpoints will also be online. They will be public for those of you who like to develop your own platforms, especially Nico, who has a fantastic Telegram bot that I've actually seen over the years. Yes, so the Jingle endpoints will be online today. There will be a a visible difference on the Explorer. You'll be able to track the various statistics, and you can expect Jingle to grow consistently. Now, there is a very big difference between the frequent callees and onboarding applications, as I said. There will be some applications that get onboarded that bring 70 million users overnight. Okay. When is that going to happen? It's happening as soon as possible. We are in a very good position with these partners. The new demonstration on the Google Play Store is set to help tremendously. And so whatever you see on the Explorer now, in terms of, will be to expect changes consistently overnight, right? So it'll be a new, minute to minute, you can expect changes on the Jingle onboarding on the Explorer. So we also have a Jingle website upgrade and full documentation set upgrade that we've been working very, very hard on as a team over the last 6 months. It's beautiful. The website is fantastic. It has, full onboarding, code snippets, the ability to log into the partners panel as we have now. But anybody can sign up at any time. We're no longer limiting it to partners that we're speaking to. You're able to just sign up, grab the code, and implement directly from the website. So that will integrate nicely with some of the campaigns and marketing that we have set for later this year. So under the hyperscaling platform, we expect the traditional traffic and the Jingle endpoint, onboarded users to be extremely valuable for us as a company. We don't know anyone else who's doing this publicly right now. Anybody that is doing this is obviously doing it privately, probably because they're making so much money doing it, right? The value is absolutely immense. The industry is ripe, primed. We have a lot of traffic accessible via our interconnections, and we expect the pace of Jingle onboarding to increase with the release of these technologies, the various case studies, the new website, the new documentation, and obviously the partners on the ground. One more thing I'll add on Jingle. We have a very, very pristine traffic flow with more than 100 million minutes per month that is waiting to come on board as soon as we see the success in Pakistan. The same partners on the ground in Pakistan have a lot of contacts and connections and traffic elsewhere. So we'll be utilizing that. We'll be utilizing those connections and that traffic in order to onboard additional countries under the frequent callees model in the immediate future. So all very exciting when it comes to Jingle. I'm sure there are some questions in the audience and on social media. If you'd like to come up now and ask any questions about Jingle, you are more than welcome and invited. Whilst we wait, let's move forward. The new Explorer, we've covered it a little bit. I won't ruin any of the surprises of which statistics are available, but it does comprehensively show the visual sort of differences between the traditional traffic and Jingle on the network. And I think over time, we will continuously add new statistics, new metrics, and if we have any feedback from the community or partners as to which metrics might be included that are not currently visible on its release, you are more than welcome to make suggestions. They will be listened to, they will be heard, and we will make those statistics available on both the APIs and the Explorers. So the Revenue Turbine, SMS. Recently, we were at MWC. It's a very, very loud and busy conference. We did have a chance to meet some of our existing connections. We also met some new connections, such as a very fine gentleman who invented 3G technologies. We were invited to a very special committee that we have taken we've said yes to. We'll talk more about that in the future, and I'm sure you'll see some announcements. There's some groundbreaking technology that Minutes Network will be involved in. Regarding the GSMA, we have applied for official membership at the GSMA due to the various technologies that we're launching, primarily the VoIP exchange, with all of the anti-fraud and instant settlement, escrow built in, kind of the ability to take telephone numbers and data transit and SMS and voice interconnections all live and within the system, driven by AI, heavily integrated with AI technologies. It's a fantastic piece. You will see the exchange during Q2. In the very worst case, we hope to actually have it out during Q1. Obviously, Q1 we have a few milestones for. We're pushing where we can. Things will be released when and where they can be released. The revenue that we can generate from the exchange is obviously immense. We have barely touched on it. Perhaps we'll do a live demonstration of the exchange later in the month on social media. Maybe we can use StreamYard for that or a similar platform. Um, the revenue turbine is built into the exchange. Anybody who lists an SMS route, a telephone number, or a voice route on the exchange has the option to enable the revenue turbine or disable the revenue turbine, and that will affect the margin for the buyer and the seller automatically. The same for the CLI testing. If you'd like to list a fully compatible caller ID verified route on the exchange, whether it's SMS or voice, you will be able to, and you will pay for the privilege as a carrier to have the fact that your route is truly CLI confirmed. CLI tests can be pretty big. If you have 1,000 channel routes, you'll need to perform 1,000 channels of CLI tests simultaneously to one country. So, very excited for the CLI volume from the exchange. Very excited for the revenue volume from the exchange. Very excited for the new interconnections that will be made, the new partnerships that will be formed. We do have some very big names, existing interconnections that will be featured on the exchange immediately on launch. And we have quite a decent amount of backing. And we will be taking the exchange to the next couple of shows, at least, that we attend. Taking an exhibition stand, and because there's nothing else like it out there. There is a couple of telecommunications exchanges, but they just don't do what we do. They don't have the features we have. We're enabling call centers to run their campaigns directly from the exchange as well, where you're able to immediately sort of pay with your credit card, or you can pay with crypto, you can pay with bank transfer, and you can actually launch your campaigns using AI on the exchange, utilizing a route from the exchange, right? Whether that's SMS, voice, and tying a telephone number to your campaign, all through the panel. So it's a very, very interactive exchange, and it's designed to create revenue. It's designed to fill holes in the market. This is a market, guys, that hasn't really had much work done on it for a very long time. And the reason it hasn't had much work done on it for a long time is because everybody's happy. Everybody's making a fortune. Everybody's happy. They don't need to change anything. I mean, of course, there's new packages, there's new deals, there's new SIM cards, and MVNOs are launched all the time, right? However, the actual back end of the industry, the way that the calls are terminated, the way that the calls are handled, the way that network operations work, AI. I mean, if you have anybody that was at MWC or any of the other big conferences recently, will know that AI is a big buzzword. There's a lot of talk about AI. That it's everywhere, right? It's plastered on every single sign at these events. However, the real utilization and integration of AI within platforms is yet to become something that's publicly available in the wholesale, retail, or call center market. There's some agentic AI. Obviously, we're working with a very big company from the States on that leg. But generally speaking, the exchange covers everything from A to Z, and we know that we're going to be picking up a lot of volume and therefore a lot of revenue from this exchange. So we are excited about that. We're driving it ahead. It's something that we can't bring home soon enough. We do expect that to cause a massive uptick on the Explorer. And finally, on the exchange, for this short introduction, there will be an option to list or use a jingle enabled route, right? What does that mean? Obviously, the price will be much lower, and it's another way to bring traffic to our network. So yes, we are extremely happy about what we've built. We can't wait for it to go live. It's already online today. It's just behind HT Access, and we are currently performing QA. As soon as QA finishes, we will release the alpha version backed by our significant carrier partners who have already started listing their routes and their buying demand on the platform. So moving forward, Albania. We have Albania on the roadmap. Traffic volume increase. What does that mean? What are we expecting in Albania? We've been collecting applications in Albania for quite some time now. Totally combined, the number of users is not high enough to run traffic to Albania as a standalone, okay, because the ASR would be too low. However, with the 503s and coupled with a new campaign coming from our Pakistan partners, we do expect Albania to be a country that we can see, that we will see Jingle go live in very soon. That's very special because the rate of Albania is very high, and obviously Jingle enables us to capture 98 or 99% of the margin, right, for us as a company. So Albania is expected to be massive. Bigger than Pakistan? No, definitely some supplementary. You know, it's each country adds to our portfolio of Jingle-enabled traffic, and it adds to our revenue portfolio as well. I am expecting a massive uptick in revenue from these activities. Vlad, I'm actually in the room now with Vlad. He was at Capacity Dubai with some of the other team members. Very good experience. A lot of new, new propositions in the market. We're looking at Tajikistan as well now. We have a partner who runs, was it 80%, Vlad? Not 90%? 90% of the traffic in Tajikistan. I mean, that could be absolutely massive for Jingle as well. They are extremely interested in onboarding Jingle in their, in Tajikistan with their users, no matter how, right? They're looking at the different ways, but in any way that they have to do it, they want it because 90% of that traffic is going through them. So they want to monetize that traffic as best as possible, naturally. There are more countries like this, as Nigeria, as you've heard previously. I don't actually have many updates on Nigeria today. I do know that Alex has been working very, very hard with some of the other team members in order to bring on more and more traffic to Nigeria. Perhaps he'll give us some news on that very shortly. Alex, would you like to say anything regarding Nigeria at this time? I can see you've unmuted, but I actually can't hear you. I don't know whether that's my connection or yours.
Sorry. Hello, everybody, and thank you for being with us. Thank you for the support. Well, for Nigeria, we're working hard to replicate the same model that we're running for Pakistan almost. So we're almost there. Traffic's going to start in a very short time. And yes, after that, Jingles come in.
Excellent, excellent. And I know that obviously, well, you know that Vlad and a couple of other team members were out in Nigeria last year talking to government officials regarding the onboarding of Jingle into the a very large local government-led program and scheme, which is moving forward a little bit slowly, but it's moving forward. And that's why we, I go back to saying I like these frequent callees deals, because with these ones, it's all in our control. We own the traffic, we own the endpoint, we own the switching equipment. Therefore, we're not waiting on anybody except from our long-term partners. Now, I mentioned a Jingle demonstration upgrade. We have a demo coming out. It will be on the App Store soon. Omri is actually leading the Jingle demo. I'm with Omri in person right now. Omri, any words on when the Jingle demo will be featuring?
Yeah, and then some. Thank you, Josh. For the Jingle demo app, we're expecting to be ready for a release in about 2 weeks' time. The demonstration app was built to conclude all the feedback we've been getting over the last year plus from the various apps we've been engaging with. And that should turn our entire B2B engagement front of Jingle to a much smoother, better experience for our customers. It will go to the Play Store as well as the Apple Store, and everyone will be invited to download it. It is built from the ground up for prospects rather than the community. However, anyone who would be interested in downloading it will be able to do so. They will have to click the first link in the credentials and ask to receive a username and password, identify as a community member, and will be able to actually get an experience of how this app demonstrates Jingle on all of its various components. It's actually quite nice from a user experience perspective. It was built and designed to basically cover the desires, questions, or areas of inquiry of all major stakeholders in a company, or basically as a mobile publisher. So whether it's the revenue people, the CEO, the technical people, so the CTO, and this app is basically addressing all the questions that we're usually being asked when we're engaging a customer for the first time. So that's on the Jingle demo app. There's quite a bit more I would love to update on the Jingle strategy moving forward, but shall we do it now, Josh? Or
I think we'll just continue here. Thank you, Henri. So, just to add to that, obviously, we do have a Jingle demonstration application live today on the Play Store. You can go ahead and download it. But to actually functionally test all of the features and some of the integrations that we've done recently, such as the inbound call center technology, the passive call through technology, so that anybody playing a game, you receive a call, doesn't interrupt your game, you just receive the call within the game and you can answer. Same for applications, communication applications, which we're talking to a few of right now. Who wants to get kicked off of a call because you've got another call coming in, right? That's one of the methods that we are, using when we pitch Jingle. We have 6 or 7. They will all be documented nicely on the new website for you to see. You'll download a PDF and it will show the complete Jingle offering. The old demo is available. The new demo is coming out soon. We need the new demo because we've been requested to demonstrate some of the technology to some very, very big names. Muslim Prayer App, Muslim Pro, Vlad, I think we have a meeting after Ramadan, which is very cool. They have a lot of users. We do expect fast movement from them. But again, it's a third-party application. So I'd rather rely immediately on the frequent callees. There's just so much traffic in the market that's looking for a cheaper rate. We will provide that cheaper rate. We do have the tools and technology to run these campaigns and assist local partners in onboarding frequent callees. So I really would keep an eye on that, and that's where our major push is going. Now, the full stack telecommunication API for developers, it will be available on the exchange. The exchange is not only for avid call center operators or wholesalers in the market or tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, etc. carriers. It's also for developers on a retail level. You can come, you can sign up, you can gain access to the API, you can take telephone numbers in, 100 plus countries. You can assign those telephone numbers to hunt groups. You can assign them to ring via SIP, etc. We support TLS, SIPS, right? Session Initiation Protocol. However, the secure version. So a lot going on there. You're able to actually utilize the entire telecommunication stack from this API. It also supports caller ID testing for both voice and SMS. There's a couple of other things that it supports, RE fraud detection and fraud prevention, which is awesome and needed in today's market. I was actually talking to the lady at GSMA during the conference, very, basic talks on this. She was very excited by our AI-driven technology. The SIM Gateway Detection and Fraud Toolkit. We have a product. It's called Mintest. Okay, it will be available soon. We'll publish it proudly. Again, it's aimed at sort of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 operators, wholesalers, and retailers, and it gives you the ability to purchase HLR lookups, caller ID checks, and it also gives you the ability to test for SIM gateways on your network, right? Which nobody wants on the network, especially for retail traffic. Sometimes you're sold a route and it's blended with multiple routes of multiple qualities. And when that happens, that's okay as long as none of them are non-CLI, because then your customers don't understand why their telephone number is showing up as blank or worse, a random caller ID, when their call party receives a call. So that fraud toolkit will be released in the next, few weeks or month or so. We don't have an exact release date. It's under Q&A right now. It looks very, very strong. We do have some significant interest. We've grown our partnerships on the detection and test sort of side of things commercially massively over the last few months, and we will continue to do so. We're actually talking to a very, very big company right now about a collaborative partnership, and they've been working in that space for maybe 10 years. They have a lot of customers, but they can't serve them like we can. Okay. Now, we have a Minutes Network website relaunch. Yes, we've talked about this for quite some time. It's quite in-depth. It links to all of the products that I've previously described. It also describes the products that I've previously described, and it gives people the ability to sign up for these products directly from the website and talks more about the technologies that we've been building over the last few years, and makes them publicly available. So we do expect a retail uptake. Obviously, the margins on the retail side are healthy. That is all inclusive under the Minutes Network model. And the Mintech Cloud Switch, that's actually built into the exchange, gone with the switches, old PBXs, etc. All these big companies, small companies, they're renting switches. These switches are very old. Okay, the most widely used switches in today's market. I'm not talking about Cisco. I'm talking about soft switches and some hard switches, and those are very, very old. There's nothing out there that's anything close or remotely even like what we've built. We do have full AI support. We do have built-in, revenue turbines, jingle termination. As I said, quality testing, root blend detection, CLI detection, SMS swap prevention, which costs people an absolute fortune and they can't detect. I mean, it's all automated within the exchange switch itself. So if you come to the exchange and you just want to run traffic, you can. So it's a nice solution. It's a fairly priced solution, depending on the type of customer that's onboarding. And it's almost ready for public use. So we are looking forward to that. We have something saying the government of Liberia, the National Digital Employment Platform. I won't say too much on this right now, but we do have a contract with a very large company in Liberia that are working hand in hand with the government. And they're working with the Ministry of Labour, and Jingle will be incorporated into an application aimed at a lot of the population, and that will be from day one. That application is currently being built. It will be rolled out by the local company with the help of the government of Liberia. Obviously, Liberia has a massive rate, being in Africa. We are very excited to have those users on board. We know it's coming. They're not on board today, but they are on the way. When that application finishes and the advertising locally begins, you will see the uptick on the Explorer for users in Nigeria, and consequently, traffic will flow to Liberia directly to Jingle endpoints, where we will capture 99% of the revenue. So that's very cool, isn't it? We have another couple of those pending. Obviously, I can only give you the names of the ones that we have closed on, so I won't mention any other such types of deals. The SMS traffic expansion. I told you that the SMS traffic would expand over the last couple of weeks. It hasn't expanded visually, but we know that our partners are in preparation to do a massive expansion. We do have a very large amalgamation and aggregation of SMS routes in hand. Our technologies enable us to blend SMS routes of the highest quality to ensure that we have A, massive capacity, B, full redundancy in terms of stability, and we can provide decent SLAs, and C, we can fight the existing retail platforms in the sense that our OTP delivery is much, much more fairly priced, let's say. So yes, I am looking forward to that SMS traffic expansion. The margins on SMS are very large, and the exchange will help with that as well, right? It will fully automate the process. We don't expect to see the exchange being waited for the next uptick in traffic. I do think that it will be any day now, looking at what the partners are telling me and the discussions on the table. However, obviously, with the release of the exchange, we know that SMS utilization on the network will grow. Whether that's people buying and selling from each other and us taking a margin, or whether that's our special blends put together being used by those purchasing on the exchange just due to the attractiveness of the rate and the quality monitoring. And I'll give you an example on that. When you send an SMS, sometimes it doesn't arrive to the destination in the same way that you sent it. Often the content can be swapped, a link could be added, an advertising link. I mean, there's all types of games that these SMS routes are playing in the market. Our system eradicates that behavior. We ensure that the SMS is delivered with integrity and is not modified along the way. If we detect that the content is being modified, we pull that route from the blend, right? Which is why we use a blend in the first place, to ensure that we have a route to fall back on when we disable one for antisocial behavior. Now, Philippines traffic volume increase. We have boots on the ground in the Philippines. We have multiple conversations. We have a large application that's pending onboarding for a very long time. It's moving rapidly. They're also excited to see this demonstration. I would say that, it's one of the next upticks on the Explorer in terms of traffic growth. We have a very good relationship with some of the Philippines carriers. And yeah, we're obviously excited to see that happen. The same with Mexico. We have boots on the ground in Mexico. I have a guy who's running, I think, 40% of the traffic to Mexico at least. And that's a very, conservative number. Do we expect all of that traffic to land on our platform? Perhaps not directly to Jingle, but via the exchange, certainly. We do expect to cater for a lot of the traffic in Mexico via the up and coming exchange. The same for Bangladesh, call center traffic. We do expect an increase in call center traffic. We have been pushing very hard on that. Bangladesh is a very special country when it comes to traffic, and we believe that we can do very well in terms of adoption over there, in terms of Jingle. So let's see how that grows and how that goes. In terms of licenses, partnerships, interconnections, we have acquired a couple of new LDIs this year. Some of them are waiting for local interconnections. Some of them are, one of them in particular is waiting for a number portability gateway to come up. As soon as that's up, the traffic will uptick on the network. We do have a okay margin when it comes to this particular LDI that we've purchased, and that will be very visible on the Explorer as and when it's released. We have not targeted a specific date for that, but Q2, we believe that we will see that happen. Okay, and then obviously we'll be attending all of these events. We'll be showcasing our technologies. We'll be showcasing the Mintest and Exchange platform. By the way, the Mintest platform is also integrated into the Exchange as an all-in-one. Now, at the end of Q2, we'll be, I think at the end of Q1 as well, guys, by the way, but at the end of Q2, we'll be looking to do a review. We'll be reviewing what happened in Q2, what we expected, and what we delivered, right? We're going to do that on each quarter now, so that we can look back, not too far back, but we can look back at the quarter and say, okay, what did we expect? What actually happened? Where do we stand? What are we doing now? And where are we going? I personally expect to be able to conquer all of these items on the roadmap in the expected timeframes. And obviously, each of these items is very significantly tied to the numbers that you'll see on the Explorer and an uptick in business revenue. So all of them have me on the edge of my seat. We will do an interactive telecommunications visual presentation workshop. What does that mean? We'll take you through some of the technologies. We'll demonstrate them visually, as I said earlier in the call, on something like StreamYard, where we can do stream share, have a look at the back end, have a look at the front end, have a look at what we see internally as a business. And I think we'll do that at the end of Q2, just because we'll have so much out there, including the exchange, and there'll be so much to kind of digest and really show off, right? We'll see those massive uptick in numbers, and that's what I'm all about. That's where my focus is, our focus is. We have our eyes on the prize. We have our eyes on the ball. We know what we have in hand. We understand what the massive demand available on the table. Everybody around us is ecstatic to sort of realize and monetize these opportunities together. Now, Q3, very similar. We have Nigeria and Kenya. You heard from Alex earlier during the call on Nigeria. We've put it to Q3. It's a very difficult country for us to work in. We are pushing ahead. There seems to be a lot of traffic going to Nigeria, so it's not a problem on the traffic side. It's more of a slow sort of mover on the ground. It's a lovely country, but it's not moving as quickly as we'd like, and that's why we are also focused on the frequent callees in Nigeria and the onboarding of those frequent callees. So Kenya, very much the same. Couple of events, and again, another Q3 review. Obviously, once per quarter, we'll be reviewing history in that quarter. Q4 looking pretty empty on the roadmap. That's because we would have achieved so much by Q4. I think by Q4, you'll see a new roadmap with new milestones. Obviously, we'll remove the ones that we've finished, and we'll be adding things as we plan them. At this point in time, we have 4 major points planned: hyperscaling and the Jingle frequent callee onboarding models, the partnership and collaboration with some of the networks, including Unity, where we will be utilizing the technologies and utilizing the available network to drive a significant uptick in revenue as a business. And we have, generally speaking, we do expect by Q4 to have achieved a lot of the long-term goals. I do wonder where we'll be in Q4. I think it's going to be an extremely important moment in time. And as we progress through the various quarters, I think it will be very apparent, right? The amount of work that's gone in, that's going in. And I think we'll have some very, very happy people. We'll have some surprised people. We'll have some happy people. And we might even have some sad people that, don't want us to move as quickly as we're moving, perhaps, right? So that'll be a very interesting outcome. In terms of TBA, why are things labeled TBA? Well, where we couldn't give a date, we put TBA, not to disappoint ourselves, our partners, and any potential audience that might be listening. The SEW partnership is obviously one of them. It's an extremely valuable partnership. We take it extremely seriously. We have not had a no from SEW. It's important to say. They have not told us no. We have been told yes. We have shared the GitHub repository. We have shared the technologies. We have developed custom technologies for them as a company, and we are waiting for that integration. Obviously, that's a completely game-changing integration worth an enormous amount of revenue for us as a company. So we are waiting. I am waiting. I am pushing. We are pushing. And I still absolutely wholeheartedly believe that it will be one of our biggest wins when it happens to date. The US telephony application integration. Some have asked why it doesn't say Boss Revolution. That's, the person who made the roadmap chose to label it in this way. That is Boss Revolution. Again, we have not had a no. So just because you don't see it live today doesn't mean that it's not coming tomorrow. When will it be live? Well, that's why it says TBA, because we're waiting for this demo. We're going to go and show them all of the ways that it could be integrated. We have shared a plethora of information. We have done and conducted live demonstrations. A lot of interest in the integration, and I have been told that the integration was targeted for the end of last year. That means that we must be extremely close now. Okay, and I wasn't told by a random person. I was told by the company themselves. The UK gaming company joint venture. I still can't give you a name. It is the largest UK mobile gaming company out there. They are extremely interested. They do want it to happen. They don't want voice initially. They want a different type of model with SMS. And the demo will incorporate that SMS model so that we can actually demonstrate the functionality to them. It works a little bit differently than traditional SMS, but it's very powerful and it's very valuable. They are a massive company. They do have more than 1 billion downloads across many applications. And yeah, we believe it's a win. We do have a very good relationship with them, Proxy, our close partners and colleagues. And we've had very interesting chats, right? They are waiting on us. We will bring them that demonstration, as Omri said, in the very, very near future. Strategic partnerships, very key, very important. We continuously make strategic partnerships. I think we have more than 10 interconnections as well to announce that have not yet been announced. The reason we're holding back on announcing interconnections is because we've been told that our competitors are watching and can see who we're working with. So we're not quite sure about releasing some of these names. I think we'll keep some of them under wraps, and others you'll see go live in the near future. Strategic partnerships drive Minutes Network. We cannot do this alone. We appreciate all of our strategic partners, all of our advisors, and all of the key members of the team who assist in driving the network forward. I do have massive expectations as to where the network is going. We have some of the best technologies in the entire industry today. It's extremely valuable. It's game changing, company changing for some. It's brought a smile to many faces during various talks and demonstrations. So we are, pushing ahead with strategic partnerships. They are very important to our placement in the industry, and we're grateful for the partners that we have on board, most of which are massive. Now, in Kosovo, the Jingle onboarding, I believe that Vlad will be heading back out to Kosovo very soon with the demonstration in hand to talk to the various companies that we have been talking to out there. We do have agreement from a decently large size couple of companies out in Kosovo for integration. Why is it not integrated? It's being integrated. We believe that this demo will assist. It's not just a visual demo. It's a integratable code snippet based demo, and on the website there'll be guides and tutorials for these developers of these companies to actually assist them along in the integrations that they'll be making. So in terms of global expansion, I mean, that's what the last 40 minutes has been about. We are expanding globally. We are knocking on every door. We even have people knocking on our door from a global perspective. And we are growing, right? As we launch various advertisement campaigns and as we show success in the various areas previously discussed during this call, our global integrations, global expansion will continue to grow ever faster. There will be a point where you turn around and the company is unrecognizable in terms of where we have come from, where we are, and where we are going. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled if you're a Minutes Network believer and fan. And we appreciate your support. Thank you very much for what you're doing. If you don't believe in what we're doing, that's very sad for you. And we wish you all the best. From my perspective, this is absolutely life-changing. I love what I'm doing here. For me, this is a massive win. For us, this is a massive win. I know that Minutes Network, I know where it's going, and it's set in the stars. Okay, so yes, I will hand over to Jamie for a few words.
Set in the stars and a very, very special blend. Yeah, I'm as excited as you are and everyone at Minutes Network. We're an incredible moment in time. It's for me and for everyone in the marketing, super exciting to see how the narratives and the technology are really like fully aligning now. And the product stack that we've built and that we're rolling out, everything is tying in to the market trends. It's all converging, around a story that I see clearly. We see clearly this notion of intelligent voice infrastructure. From a marketing perspective, how lucky am I and the team? So many products are now coming together. We're going to be rolling out. You would have noticed, we've been talking a lot. AI-driven fraud protection, the call center traffic, the agentic voice. It's all very intentional. These are some of the fastest growing areas in telecom. They require exactly the type of infrastructure we're building. They're laying this and this messaging is very specific, and we're targeting a certain audience in terms of partners, interconnection, partners, call center businesses, SMS, OTP. It all comes together where the industry is really needing now under the concepts of like intelligent voice infrastructure. And so we've been focusing on that and starting to tell the story to lay the groundwork for all of these products that we're now going to be rolling out. And it's interesting, we've gone to these shows recently. Yes, AI. I mean, we also are, we're referring to AI a lot because it is very important. But I think, MWC, we see a lot of headline sort of clickbaity meaningless statements, but really, is AI really being leveraged the way we're doing it, the way we're using it? We don't think so. That's also why, there's been a focus on positioning and, letting everyone in the industry know we are actually at the forefront. And the infrastructure and the technology stack that we built is like nothing else, right? So there's the very sort of clear intentional positioning going on from a Minutes Network side. For us, we look at a lot of the existing networks and they're, just kind of like traditional routing pipes. And what we built is very different. And fraud is a massive issue. So that's why we talk about it. Traffic optimization, AI voice systems, programmable telecom services, everything that we've built. So, from a marketing perspective, we've got so much to talk about. And can't wait, right? And obviously everything ladders up to the pinnacle, which is Jingle. Can't wait to support, lean in hard on amplifying our story around the products, right? Around the new demonstration, around the website, obviously then with the exchange, amazing. We've got so much to talk about. We've got so much to, so many stories around everything that we're doing. And so, everyone on the market side, super excited to amplify all of that. It's it's an incredible moment. We are we have this full stack of products and capabilities all coming together at a time where the narrative in the industry is all concentrating around the need for high, greater intelligence, better fraud protection, better use of AI, and amazing SMS, one of the oldest forms of communication, still really important. So I think we're very excited on on the marketing side. Got lots of stories to tell around all of these incredible products that we're now rolling out. So yeah.
Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it. I'd just like to touch on competition. So naturally, in the telecommunications industry, there are a lot of competitors. Okay, none of them are running anything like Jingle today, which is cool. At least not publicly. There are, because we're stepping into more, more and more into the voice over IP arena, especially with the VoIP exchange. There are a lot of people out there who have a cutthroat margin when trading routes and buying and selling routes and SMS, numbers, etc. Even data. The exchange is data compatible as well. And when I say a lot, I mean there are thousands of companies out there who are looking to buy and sell and get a better price each time, right? Because a better price means they make more money. So there are a lot of competitors. We will outshine them all in terms of technology. We will work with the competitors. They will come to our platform to work and buy and sell their routes. Why? Because we have the opportunities listed in a centralized format, right? The industry is very dispersed. If you go to one of these conferences, you'll understand everybody's walking around. Most people have heard about each other if they're a decent company name, but not everybody's working with each other. And there's nowhere you can go to kind of like work with more people. There's no one set place to go to say, okay, I want to make more money on my Liberia route today. Let me go and buy another Liberia route. If you go to Twilio, you're not getting a deal that's compatible with the market or any carrier out there. There is no sort of wholesale, retail, call center platform that you can go to, sign up to, and get a decent rate. All of them are selling retail rates. They've all got a massive margin added on, and they do that to make money, right? They're the automated types of platforms. If you know someone in the industry and they are willing to sell to you and share their pizza, telecom is like a pizza. When you take a slice of the pizza, that's a slice of the pie. Okay, there's only one pie. There's one telecom pie, and not everybody's willing to share. Why should they? It's their pizza. They're eating it. They've been eating it for years, and they worked hard to get that, entitlement to that share. We are breaking that sort of structure, and sort of we're sort of we're creating a marketplace. Essentially, the VoIP exchange is a giant marketplace where you can come to trade without fear of being ripped off, because a lot of these telecom people, they don't trust each other, right? But, on a weekend, on a Friday, all the knocks go home, all the network control guys go home. If on Monday you haven't paid your bill, well, it's a terrible situation. A lot of companies go bankrupt because of this. We have a partner maybe 10 years ago that lost a lot of money like this, right? They you build trust, due diligence, etc., but it doesn't always help. So it's very much a no trust industry. It's very much a who industry, and everybody's competing with each other to try to get a better rate so they can make more profit. Yeah, that's just on competition. As I said, there's nobody out there offering anything like Jingle. There is no telecoms exchange like we are about to release. And there is no test platform like we're about to release either. You've got the likes of iTest, who are amazing. I've used iTest a lot in the past. Very reliable platform, excellent platform. But they just don't see the industry like we see it. They don't have the functionality we have. Yeah, they are a competitor to our testing solutions that are due to go live very shortly. I think that kind of covers the competition element of things. Do we have any live questions, guys, before we move to the next speaker in the team? Would anybody like to come up on stage and talk? You are more than welcome. In fact, we encourage it, whether you are, asking any question, A to Z, we'd love your questions. We don't see any requests to speak as it stands, sadly. Yes, we do. We have Telco Val. I have accepted. Hi, Val. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you, Josh. Great space. Thank you for being so going into in depth in your update. I do have a question because it is related to Jingle because we've talked about this like I think early last year when we were talking about Jamaica, and I noticed that some of the community members or forgot or didn't even know about it. So maybe you could elaborate on what it is, Jingle Boost, and so
Wow.
what it does, and like a quick update about it, please.
Right. So Jingle Boost. We don't talk much about Jingle Boost because it's a product that's sort of driving an underlying current. Jingle Boost is a way for creators to get involved. Okay, let's say that you are a musician. Okay, and you're in Jamaica and you have a fan base of X size, okay, in Jamaica and around the Caribbean, in Africa and the States. Your fans right now, they go on YouTube, they listen to your music, they sort of comment and they look at your news, etc. But there's no, these Jamaican artists, they don't have an application. Okay, so we've created something that can create applications for these artists, give them the application. It has a lot of fan media inside it, utilizes their YouTube, etc. And it shows, it shows their fans ways that they can interact with these artists, and there's a lot of VIP elements, etc. And what's the point of this, right? Well, the point is it's incorporated with Jingle. It's also incorporated with Minutes Network in terms of outbound calling. So now your fans can have a telephone number provided by an eSIM from World Mobile, and they can also have an outbound route provided by Minutes Network, so they can make cheap calls back to their family at home or within the country via Minutes Network. And they will also be sort of paid when a call comes inbound via Jingle. So Jamaica is one of the most interesting places that we're running Jingle Boost right now. We do have a lot of signups to Jingle Boost. We have created a lot of applications. We have some very, very, very famous names on board. We will shout about those names when it is time. Today, as it stands, we're not running Jamaican traffic at this moment in time to Jamaica via Jingle. And the reason for that is we are collecting users. So as we have more and more users on the network, we will turn that traffic on. We probably have more than 40 local artists. Some of them have millions of TikTok viewers. Some of them are regularly appearing on TikTok and Instagram. They will be talking about Minutes Network. They will also be talking about Jingle. They will be, promoting the application, which includes the outbound routes provided by us and the inbound Jingle functionality. So I haven't really mentioned this before, and the reason we haven't mentioned it is because we have a lot of things that we're doing. As they happen, we're going to talk about them. We don't always talk about things before they're ready, but since you've mentioned it, I've given you a bit of a insight there. It's the same in Albania. In Albania, we have some very, very large artists. And why Albania and Jamaica? Well, it's a small population of Android users. We find it's much easier to get 10% of a small population than it is to get 10% of a very large population. Okay, so that's the way we looked at it, and that's the way we are going out on it. And yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, you're more than welcome, Val. For your thanks are appreciated. I do try to dive into detail, especially in today's event. We do deserve the detail. We do appreciate questions where something, if somebody's unsure, like how does this work or what about that? Like, more than welcome to come up on stage or drop the question in social media. We do have King Warwolf requesting. Hi, King Warwolf. I believe you are connected. How are you today? Val, I'm so sorry. If I didn't answer your questions completely there, please, you're
That was
welcome
perfect.
to.
That was perfect. It was a question from one of the community members, so I wanted to.
No,
Thank
absolutely.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming up. Hi, King Wolf. Great name you have as well, if I may say so.
You may. It's a good name.
It is a good name.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you today?
Okay. Good. How about yourself? I have
Very
a
well.
couple of
Thank you very much.
questions. One, I don't know if this is off topic a little bit, but I have quite a few leases running in Thailand, and the uptime there is not good. I was wondering if there's something that you could tell us about, why certain places, because I'm actually in Albania,
Oh,
but I
excellent.
have. So I'm again on that front. If you need any help over here, let me know. I'll be happy to help with anything I
We
can.
we would love to connect. If you'd like to
Okay.
send a direct message after the event, we will definitely connect with you in Albania.
Okay. Perfect. So I have leases running in America, where I'm from, in Albania here as well, and in Thailand. They're all the ones in Albania and America are running fine. I'm having well over 90% uptime, but all of my leases in Thailand, they cut out the lease time, or the uptime is really bad. Is there anything that we can do about that, or is there a reason for it?
Actually, we have noticed that from the telemetry that's running now, we have noticed that the uptime is very different globally. There are significant differences between country A and country B. No two countries seem to be the same, especially in the East, South America, Africa, etc. I think that it wouldn't be fair for me to make a comment because I don't know whether that's an isolated issue to your particular leaseholders, or whether that's a sort of Thailand-wide issue. I think Thailand was said to have very good internet. I can't really give you more detail on this topic at this time.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, the internet's really good. I used to live there, so it's extremely good. And the the leases that I have are varied. Some of them are just Wi-Fi, some of them are on SIM cards, some of them are iPhones, some of them are Android. But the uptime is just really bad in Thailand. And all my other leases, the ones in the States, the ones here in Albania, they're all doing really well.
Well, I mean, I'm glad to hear that, and obviously Thailand is a beautiful place to live. So, I've actually never been to Thailand, but I do have many friends that have been and told me how wonderful it is and how blue the waters are over there. Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time globally, isn't it? The voice over IP situation in Thailand is interesting. The rate is reasonably high. We do have a couple of Thai partners that we have been talking to. It's not sort of number one on the destination list, but I'm sure we'll see it come live with the release of the exchange as well.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. And again, I'll get with you if you need any help. If you need an extra eyes or something over here in Albania, I'll be happy to help.
Look, we never refuse help. We never refuse extra eyes, and we'd be very interested to hear about how you might be able to assist us on the ground in Albania. It is a small place, and we
Yeah.
love the idea of bringing Albania larger and larger on the network. The value is massive in terms of telecommunications. Both SMS and voice are very highly priced, so I think it's a really interesting destination, and I'd love to connect you with you after the call. If you'd like to DM me on Telegram or on Twitter, we will get back to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for the answers.
No, of course. And I'd just like to pick up on a couple of comments in the group. We have Rev2Real. I really like Rev2Real. He's a frequent talker in the unofficial community group. And he was saying both Minutes and WM seem to be leveraging AI in unique ways. I think the companies that don't leverage AI, they will fall behind. I think AI is an absolute game changer for those who know how to operate it. It's not for everybody. You need senior operators. You need people that really understand. I think AI is as clever as you are. When you use it, right, it will give you the kind of sort of level of knowledge that you're sort of putting into it back. But I do think it's game changing. I think for anybody that hasn't checked out AI, it's really starting to sort of change industries. And I think telecommunications is one of those industries that's going to really appreciate the change, not just in terms of being able to reduce the amount of manpower involved in operations, but also to increase the productivity, efficiency, and many algorithms. You know, it's very, very clever, isn't it? It's very clever indeed. So I'm very happy that we are witnessing this massive change across all industries. I think AI is very positive when used positively, and I'm a big fan. I think it's fantastic. Somebody mentioned Trident. Mentioned Josh is getting ready to take a piece of the pie. Is it a pizza? Is it a mobile? Is it a pie? A pizza pie or just a pizza? It's what you want it to be. It's, you know, in every country there's local food. I guess sometimes you might say it's a paella, or it's a, you know, it's a pizza in New York, it's a paella in Spain, and it's a pie in maybe some of the colder countries. But the point is, and actually I was taught this when I was much younger. The telecommunications industry is like a pizza. Anybody who wants a slice of the pizza has to either work really hard for it, be given it, or they have to have something better than the existing market sort of leaders. So yeah, I hope that covers the pie. Carlos says, just got out of a meeting. Are we rich? Well, I think we're rich in technology, and I think we are going to be a very interesting position very shortly as time progresses. It's an interesting time, right? It's an interesting time. Let's see what all of these technologies, they are coming to a point where we are releasing, you know, to the retail sector, to the call center sector, to the wholesale sector, to the carrier sector. I mean, wow, right? From my position, I'm ecstatic. It's a euphoric time for us at Minutes Network. We are driving and, you know, at a faster pace than ever before. And that's not because we want to. We've always wanted to go as quick as we can. That's due to the state of readiness of the technologies at hand. Josh is in high spirits today. I'm in high spirits every day, Rev. I'm in high spirits every single day. Alex, no updates on Unity. I'm not at liberty to provide you Unity updates on this call. I was on the last Unity communications space. I will be on the next one. I believe Omri is hosting an SNR space in the near future. I will join if you are there. Feel free to come up and ask any questions that you have.
Yeah, Monday.
Monday. Okay. Carlos, thank you for the faith. I can assure you that I'm the last person that will let us down. The captain of this ship, in terms of
That's Josh.
would you kindly like to say a few more words?
Yeah, I would love to. And, you know, I want to talk a little bit more about Jingle moving forward in terms of strategy. But, you know, I can't help it because AI keeps coming up in our internal conversation, in our day to day. As we were saying at MWC. I think from my perspective, we are at this point in time in the industry, and this is just my personal note, and it would be lovely to hear any other opinion. For me, it's a reminder or even a throwback to somewhere in between 1999 and 2000, with the big .com bubble that we experienced. Now, while I'm not pointing to a bubble when it comes to AI, but it does feels a little bit right now, at least from my standpoint, that we're somewhere in a point of epiphany that masks over chaos. It seems like, and I think Josh you described it kind of well. You know, there are people who wrap their head around agentic AI and everything that is good around the AI and how it can shape the future. Uh, it impacts the tech industry as a broad in an insane way to me, from the venture capital industry all the way down to the startups out there in whatever industry or space. And for me, it's quite exciting to see how we're wrapping our heads around it and the tools that we're utilizing and how it's going to impact the telecom industry. And I think we have a few very interesting approaches there as the industry keep evolving in the adoption curve of AI. That just 2 cents, and sorry for taking time on that. But back to our little backyard with Jingle. So, you know, for the community, I think it's been around a year now when, you know, I first joined an AMA to talk about our rollout with Jingle. Everyone knows that we've been practicing a B2B front, where we're basically targeting mobile publishers to adopt Jingle as a new monetization engine for the assets, basically being mobile apps. Josh already covered our achievements and sort of like where we stand right now. I want to give you today a glimpse into what we're going to be doing next. And as me being responsible for the commercialization here with Jingle, you know, I look back at my career in the tech industry, and in the last, I would say, 4 or 5 months, I've been researching and developing kind of a new strategy, a bit of a new, different outlook on how we should roll out Jingle. And while we proceed with the B2B front and engage mobile publishers, most of you who've heard me on previous AMAs, you know, I try to give reference to Jingle from a supply and demand perspective, as very common in the monetization industry. Specifically, if I'll take the ad space, advertisement, which is probably the most familiar form of monetization for whether it's web or mobile, you know, the main asset being used in that space is an ad, right? It's an ad space that's being controlled by display exchanges, DSPs, and supply side or demand side platforms mastered by Google and a bunch of other players. And it works with a certain set of rules. And what I took from our journey with Jingle so far got us on this last little research, which I want to share with you now. So I came to realize that we operate in kind of an inverted space from the traditional monetization industry that's currently dominated by players such as Google at the time, players like IronSource that merged with Unity, not us, Unity Freebie, the engine. And there you look at the ad, you look at the keywords, and you look at the target audience. So on the supply side, you're looking at continents such as the US, Western Europe, being the most luxurious, most expensive user acquisition triggers for advertisers, right? If I'm looking to advertise something in consumer electronics or in healthcare or anything like that, and I'm targeting users in North America or the UK or anywhere across Western Europe, I'll be paying the most expensive click cost or view cost or overall user acquisition cost. And that's what drives this entire industry. In fact, in the Minutes Network ecosystem, it's inverted. For us, it's not an ad. For us, it's a call. It's a minute and it's a rate per minute. And in our case, and this is why I'm saying inverted, we are looking at territories, whether it's in Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, a lot of territories where for us, the minute is more luxurious or the rate per minute is just higher. And that goes completely against stream of the mainstream advertisement industry. And why am I telling you all this? Because all these users in all these countries that we've been basically looking to secure through our B2B engagements with Jingle so far are cheaper, so to speak, quote by quote, from a user acquisition perspective than a user in North America. Now, not that we have anything against users from North America from a telecom perspective, but the cost per minute in the US is dramatically lower than the cost per minute in Senegal or Eritrea or the Dominican Republic or the Philippines. And this got me to the point of understanding, backed by research and data, that the army of user acquisition out there, whether it's the big platforms, the top of media buyers who specialize in user acquisition, agencies and whatnot, have a very big stock of users in these countries that they literally have no one to sell to. And why? It is maybe a little bit unfortunate, but for the advertisers out there, acquiring a user to download an app or to click an ad in these countries is on the verge of worthless because they are not the potential buyer or the potential user of the product being advertised. While for us, these users are absolutely gold. So, just to be maybe more granular in numbers, if I wanted to have an app with Jingle on board and do my own user acquisition versus teaming up with another app that already has users, I would need to spend a small fortune on user acquisition in the United States or Western Europe. However, if I want now to acquire users through the traditional techniques of user acquisition, I can do that extremely cheap because there is an almost never ending inventory of users out there in the reach of user acquisition experts, whether it's in house or through agencies, that are extremely cheap. So that would be your $8, $14, or $16 per install of an app versus 20 cents of a dollar. Now, I gave you all this background, and I do apologize if I bored you with this, but this ties up directly with the strategy that I've introduced leadership in the company, Josh and the rest of the team. And as of the beginning of next quarter, basically April, coming very soon, I'm going to be deploying a POC, a proof of concept, or an MVP, if you'd like, where instead of teaming up with other mobile publishers and trying to basically go through the entire sell cycle of integrating Jingle into their app, we're actually going to deploy our very own apps. We spoke about AI, and with the marvelous team that we have here on board, combined with AI tools, today we can create products in hours, let alone in days. And so we're going to be taking on 3 different territories around the world. We're going to be deploying our own apps, of course, with Jingle on board. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of how we're going to conduct this trial, but at the end of it, we're going to be sitting on the entire chain from supply to demand. We're going to be holding it from both ends. And basically, that takes us to an arbitrage, right? Because if I can acquire a user download that for any of our apps in whatever country, whether it's Ecuador or Jamaica that you've heard of before, or Albania or any other country, and I can acquire this user in cents of a dollar, even if it was $1, but in cents of a dollar. And given the numbers we know in these specific territories for a rate per minute, the amount of inbound calls, basically all of our KPIs and analytic metrics that are completely inverted to the rest of the industry, we can be ROI positive on each user we acquire in a matter of a couple of weeks. And if that equation works on a data driven basis, not assumptions, no guess, no estimates, then I believe this will be a tipping point for this company, for our strategy with our core product being Jingle. And I believe it will be a huge game changer because this is a completely scalable model. User acquisition and the whole B2C realm has been a great part of my career so far. So I'm happy I'm getting the opportunity to deploy it here in house. And we will basically benchmark those efforts in house of B2C versus B2B and how we take it from there. But with this strategy, we can see not only a vaster, more robust rollout of Jingle, we can actually see a far greater ROI per user with the LTV, the lifetime value we expect of a user on a Jingle app, combined with the return on ad spend, usually referred to as ROAS. I believe and you know, as I said, I've already conducted an internal research. I've built the user economics. I've been working with some other team members, including, of course, Jamie on this. And as early as the very top of Q2 of this year, we're going to go out for this POC. So that was my update and something I wanted to share with the community. And honestly, can't wait to get to that POC to deploy and share some analytics and some numbers, hard numbers with you guys.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Omri. I really appreciate you giving that insight to the guys here and the partners on the line. Well, I mean, it's excellent, isn't it? It's brilliant that we have so many different ways to sort of drive these technologies and aggregate these users. We feel extremely confident, guys. We know exactly what we're doing. We do read the chats. I must admit, I have less and less time to read the chats, but I do read the chats. I am familiar with some of the feedback, and I think that's important, right? I don't like to be ignorant, so we listen to all of the feedback, and we appreciate the feedback, no matter whether it's super positive or some people are we've got 2 or 3 people that are consistently I don't want to be too harsh, consistently negative, okay, but it's only 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. It's not a large group, and they're negative because they want to see the success, right? Who else is delivering like us? Who else is talking like us? Who else is talking about the delivery, size of delivery, and the sheer scale of things like us? I don't think there are many people, right? So I put it down to excitement, and I put it down to we want it now, right? Everybody knows, a kid at Christmas, just before Christmas comes. I mean, I used to make myself sick at Christmas as a kid, right? Because I couldn't wait for the day to come. I have a very similar feeling now. Try to be very grown up about it, but I can't wait for what's to come, guys. It's game changing. It's life changing. It's everything. I mean, it's all we do. It's what I love. It's what I know. Super excited and happy in the position we're in. Thank you very much to all of our partners that helped us get here and the communities involved. And we are very grateful for your continued support. We could not do this alone. We recognize that. And we're here to make telecommunications distributed, in some cases decentralized. And we're here for the creation and sort of the build of the sharing economy. Who knows, what those revenues being layered on, what it will do, right? Let's see. I don't want to provide more speculation than that in this update, but I'm sure some of you know exactly what I mean. Now, just to touch on an element on the Explorer, something that we haven't touched on for quite some time. On the Explorer, there is a very different label, and it says total accessible users 35.28 million. We don't talk about that much, do we? That number has not been updated for a very, very long time. That is the number of applications that we have marked for integration, that we have agreements for immediate integration in certain countries, and they are not users that are currently being terminated to, because obviously we spoke about the 10%, etc., of each country that needs to come on board, roughly 10%, 7%, 11%, whatever, in order for us to sort of comfortably terminate calls to that country via Jingle. On the new Explorer, that number has been updated. The users have been split over the relevant countries. If you are if you do your due diligence on the new Explorer, you will see where we are building user bases and how many users we have. As I said, that number will be reflecting live from our databases of user bases that we're creating in those countries. And when they are switched on, it has a dramatic effect. So some of those are due to be switched on sooner than others. And obviously, as additional applications and different methodologies are trialed and Jingle Boost, etc., rolls out, then you'll see those countries. We hope we've covered most of your questions today. There is a question in the main group regarding the BuyBot. It was said that Coleman, it was mentioned that we would get an update on the BuyBot by Monday the 16th. Any chance we can get some info on it? Yes, before Monday the 16th, there will be an announcement. There will be a new version of the BuyBot. There is a broken down version of the information that you see today on the Explorer regarding the BuyBot. And I'm happy to say that that will be live sooner rather than later. There is a plan for the BuyBot to use a smart contract, which is pretty cool. That is not going to be live by Monday, but that will be coming out over the next few weeks. We are very, very busy. We are a small team, but we get a lot done, and we do prioritize what we believe to be the most important factors at that particular time. The team has expanded over the years, with the two new employees coming on board a couple of days ago to help with the management of some back-end tooling relating to some of the voice and SMS and data suites that we have made available or will make available publicly shortly. Do we have anyone else who would like to come up and ask any questions? I don't see any questions in social media. I know we have Callus here. Hi, Callus. How are you today?
Doing good. Thanks for hosting this. Thanks for spending the time. I hope everyone can hear me well.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for joining. We can hear you clearly, loud and clear.
Perfect. There's been a lot of information here today, which is fantastic. Gonna have to listen to this over and over again to dig down on it. But a few sort of things popped out. The exchange we've heard about, in passing. I've asked a few questions, and I don't know if I really understood kind of exactly what it was. So I just have some questions. When a client decides to come on board, like a telecom company, for example, and they get integrated into the exchange, are you just offering them whatever service they wanted, or do they, once they're on the exchange, like it's just an entire your entire offering is there for them to pick? So like if they want to use one thing, they kind of get exposed to everything sort of just because they're onboarded. Is that what they're?
Exactly that. So all of the tools are, part of the navigation menu. You can click around. You can use any of the tools that might suit you or your business at that time. You might even be exposed to something that you didn't know you needed for your business at that time, and you might use that tool as well. So we've put the VoIP exchange together in such a way that anybody can use it at any time. It's also useful for those that don't understand voice and SMS and data number trading and would like to get involved. I mean, it's open to everybody. We do give some free credit on sign up as part of the launch campaign. That won't obviously last forever. We have reduced fees, etc., for initial signups, and we believe that it will make the industry a much safer, a much more. And we hate the word centralized, don't we? But in this industry, there is no central point of trade. If you want to trade a VoIP group, you need to know who to trade to. Okay. And if you go online and find a random guy to trade with, you might not have the best experience. I mean, sometimes you can have a great experience. In the very beginning, many, many, many moons ago, I was, a very young man, maybe 13 years old. And me and my brother, Mickey, we went to Canary's Wharf and we installed a Dell PowerEdge server in Telehouse data exchange. I'll never forget the day. We also met one of the creators of Asterisk at Home at the time it was called. And for us, I mean, we were just getting started, right? We were lucky because we had a family hand in, right? This is a family business that our family has been running for a very, very long time, since the inception of Voice over IP and before. As I mentioned, some of our partners are very close to those who invented 3G and rolled out. I think I won't mention any names, but one of our team members, his dad was actually responsible for the entire 3G rollout in Europe alone, with his team that he drove from Switzerland. He was a diplomat working with the IT. He was, yeah. So I mean, we do have an extensive network of partners, but if somebody would like to get involved, it can be very difficult to get involved in trading. It is a great commodity and great product to trade. There is a lot of a lot of profit to be made in this industry, and it's all based on who you know. So the first point and purpose of the exchange is to bring everybody together. It's to give the people at the conference, and there's thousands of people at these conferences. They all have one interest alike, and that's to get a cheaper route and make more money, or collect more traffic at a suitable price and terminate it on their route to make more money, right? So that's the centric goal of the VoIP exchange. The VoIP exchange is a hand-in-hand release with WM, and we are super, super excited for it to be released, as you can probably imagine, right? So we'll showcase that live as soon as it's released. When we run a stand at the next event we attend, we'll make sure that we have live coverage as well, so you can enjoy the happenings at the stand with us. And generally speaking, we're in a golden position. I apologize, guys. Just had my couple of dogs enter the room. We are now a dog-free room. Yes. So, do we have anybody else that would like to come up on the Twitter Spaces and ask any questions, make any remarks, give any comments, ask us to drill deeper into any of the details that we've been through during this call, or perhaps something that we haven't mentioned? Just having a look over the chats again.
Just
When token AMA? I can see that. I don't know if that's what you're about to say, Callus.
one of them.
I know a token AMA will be announced very soon. We do have numerous team members in Dubai. You have seen the sad situation in Dubai. We are very sad about this. We are positive people. We don't like war. We like evolution. We believe that time should be spent on evolution and helping the world forward and helping technology forward, rather than spent fighting. So it's really sad to see that Iran is under attack and our staff in Iran are suffering. So in Iran, God forbid, staff in Iran. Our staff in Dubai are suffering under under Iran's attack. So we're very angry about that, and we're very sad that this is happening. Dubai is a fantastic place. Our staff in Dubai are fantastic people, and it's a difficult time over there right now. So I hope you understand if the token AMA is taking a little bit longer to come out than it normally should or would have. I know that there was one planned for last week. We'll get that out as soon as we possibly can. Callus, you were speaking.
Yeah, sorry. Just going back to the exchange here. Earlier in the call, you mentioned that people could verify their routes directly. They could be offered CLI testing, and then you just mentioned that this is in conjunction or in partnership with World Mobile. So, how important was it to the exchange launching that you got Unity sort of launched at that point? In
I would say it's critical, as well as being unrelated. So the utilization of the functionality that Unity Edge Network offers as a network has obviously been factored into the build of the various products, and it's extremely helpful. Non-synthetic devices offering the ability to verify certain metrics across networks globally is something that's not available today online. You might find, some non-synthetic devices in a couple of countries, but generally speaking, a lot of the products that people are offering today in the industry are digital and synthetic, hosted in data centers and warehouses, etc. Whereas Unity is providing functionality utilizing a real retail perspective, right? It's from the user to the user, so it's a different type of test network. And again, I mean, it's a massive value add.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's just really interesting when you start to see that, things that run in Unity could actually be either for sale or benefit the exchange. So that's amazing to see. I have not I have so many questions, but nothing. You touched on a lot today, so I think I need to go through the recording again and see what I missed. But I really appreciate your time today, so thanks for that.
Thank you very much for coming up, and thank you for your questions and your continued support. Much appreciated as well. Do we have anybody else that would like to attend the stage before we begin with the questions from the team, from the community? I don't think anybody else has requested. Today I have control of the request button, so I can see myself that there are 0 requests. Okay, Matthew, if you'd like to take the questions from the community and reel them off, we can answer them one by one.
Yeah, super. Josh, thank you for the detailed explanation, and also thank you to the community for all the live questions, and a further thank you to the team who took their time today out of their working day to come and join us on the AMA. Josh, a lot of the questions have been answered. We only had round about 6 or 8 questions from the community based around Minutes Network. All of them have actually been covered in the live questions or what was explained. So I will read you one of the questions which hasn't been answered, and it could be very interesting for the community to hear. So this is from Discord. So as Minutes Network reach and the user base grows, which top 3 countries do you, Josh, and the team expect will have the most daily minutes terminated?
Well, that's Pakistan for sure, initially, okay? And obviously Pakistan is a volume-based scenario, but it's, huge volume, low rate. I say low rate coupled with Jingle. Any rate is a very good rate when you're terminating to Jingle because of the revenue capture that it enables. That being said, Jamaica, Albania, we have a heavy focus on due to the size of the countries, the value in the minutes and the SMS. It just makes sense. But they are not the only countries. Mexico, we have a massive chance. Bangladesh, we have a massive chance. In the Middle East, we have a couple of countries that we have a massive chance. We actually have an LDI in the Middle East now that's due to sort of ramp up volumes with very shortly. We're just working on the interconnection deals with the local partners, and the rates, etc. But generally speaking, I mean, we are a global brand. We will be tackling all countries that make sense commercially in terms of bringing on additional revenue. And there are no countries, that haven't been mentioned with a particular focus more than others. The VoIP exchange will enable a spread of traffic to be onboarded to the network. And I think we're getting to the point where, I think results driven business is a fantastic business, and we are about to see those results. So that being said, do we have any additional questions, Matthew? And I hope that question has been answered sufficiently.
Yeah, there's a very good question here as well. They're all good questions. They're always good questions. But this one's from Chili33. What percentage of rewards last month came from customer revenue rather than incentives or subsidies?
No, there's no subsidies. At this point, there are no subsidies. Revenue is based from utilization of the network.
Fantastic. And that brings us to our last community question for today. How many paying customers are live right now, and how many active pilots are there?
Well, I think we have 30 or 40 active pilots in different countries right now, including what's in the labs. And in terms of customers, no less than 15 customers, 20 customers are live on today's network. That number is growing. Recently, it's growing quicker than ever with the release of these products up ahead. We have been sort of talking to a lot of our existing partners and some new partners at the relevant events, Capacity Dubai for one. And people need what we are building. People need what we have. There is massive demand. This is a industry that's, as I said previously, driven by what you have on the table. If you don't have something interesting, well, you better be a good friend of somebody, otherwise you'll get nothing. We have extremely interesting technologies. It's new technology. The industry hasn't seen these technologies. If any of you in the community or any of the partners are around for any of the events listed on the roadmap, you are always welcome to attend. You can meet with the team, you can see how we operate, and you can understand more on a one-to-one basis in terms of the configuration commercially, right? So massive chance, massive wins ahead, and super confident. From my standpoint, we've already won. It's just time. Sadly, we can't make the time go quicker. That's the only thing we don't, have the ability to push, even with AI.
Yeah, super. Thank you, Josh. And thank you again for answering all those questions today. I'd like to say that is the end of the community questions. So if there's anybody else who would like to come to the stage now and ask a question, that would be great. But if not, we're going to start calling it the end of the show. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes in case there's any more questions from the community, or if there's anything anybody would like to come live to the stage.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Matthew. And I do see a couple of questions in the community groups, so I'm going to take those now. Kona, is the monetary value we see each day profit or revenue? If revenue, it's a relatively low amount for a business to run on, assuming MNT has a relatively large amount of employees. My question is, are there any concerns over runway for the project with the token price being low? The tokens are never sold. The team has never sold a single token. Okay, team take great pride in that. They have not even been minted, let alone sold. Now we are not, reliant upon tokens for runway. The runway is great. We're in a significantly brilliant position. Our burn rate is reasonably low. We are a lean company. We do not employ people for fun. We do not take on big names to show off. We run things with a commercials and strategic piece in mind at all times, right? When we hire somebody, it's because they commercially make sense, they strategically make sense for the team. We are a great team. The team that you see here today, we are an incredibly powerful and strong team, probably unlike any other, except from the WM team, who are equally as strong, if not stronger, because they're a larger team and they've been running for longer. That being said, we work hand in hand. We have the best interest of each other's project and success as something that's a strategic element in our minds at all times. Now, as I said, the VoIP exchange with its data and number and SMS and voice revenues, that is a partnership with WM. We're very excited. We know where we're going, and we believe in what we're doing. So runway, not a problem as it stands today. We're in a very good position. We do expect revenue to increase, and therefore, but it's a good question to touch on, and I think we can cover this again maybe in 3 months' time when we have the expected, from my personal expectation, expected growth in the business. And I will move to Rev. Rev says, can Josh explain the process of creating a route for us laymen? Creating a route, that's interesting. So do you want that on a carrier level? Do you want that on a enterprise level, on a wholesale level? From my side, the only way we can create a route is when we blend a route, okay? And the only reason we blend a route is to provide redundancy and ensure that if we kick a route out for quality or disappointment in terms of metrics, that the traffic still runs. We'd also blend the route to get a better margin. That's what the revenue turbine is built for. The actual creation of a route, I guess, when you buy an LDI, which is very difficult to buy in any country, you are given the opportunity to run international traffic in that country and connect with the local partners and buy at a certain rate, and then you can create your own sell rates. Obviously, if you create a sell rate too high, nobody's interested, you won't get any volume. That's what Jingle's all about. You couple that with the frequent callees and the apps and the web traffic, etc. You find yourself in a spectacular position in the market and in the industry itself. Kona, of course, you're absolutely welcome. Ben Schiller, what is the projected revenue for 26? Wouldn't be fair for me to say. my expectations are massive. Let's see where we get to. Let's see what each quarter brings this year. We will be doing quarterly roundups. We'll ensure that we cover all of the targeted milestones for each quarter at the end of each quarter, including Q1. And we'll look back and see what we achieved. I think that's very important. Those, reflections need to be made. They should be made with absolute transparency by us as a team, and they will be made. So very exciting indeed. Joshua F. Will MN enable any existing innovations when integrated with WM's DNVE? That is not something that I'm at liberty to answer. However, I can tell you that there are many innovations between the two companies. There are a lot of collaborative efforts in place, and the success is around the corner. Joshua F. If you'd like more information on that, please, if you could elaborate on your question, that would be fantastic. McLovin ZA, any news on Unity tokens showing up on the Explorer? That is not my question to answer. There will be a Unity AMA and communications event scheduled. Please forward that to the next show. If you could do that, team, and make a note of that, that would be excellent. I think everything else. Oh, we have Brickman. Hold on. Just one moment. Hi, Brickman. How are you today? I don't know if you can hear me. Brickman, you are now a speaker.
All right, awesome. Good morning, afternoon, good night, based on where you guys might be. Just want to say, I really appreciate, the hard work that you guys are putting in. Although, sometimes the community can be a little tough with their feedback and impatience, but you guys keep on working, and we see the progress. So, keep doing that. My reason for coming on stage, I wanted to ask because since the time that we launched the jingle demo, I have not been able to access it. What it gives me, it gives me an error. It just says unable to send OTP. I've tried doing tickets through Discord and haven't been able to get a resolution. I'm not sure if that's something else that others in the community have been facing with the demo, or if
Understood.
yeah.
Understood. You can expect an upgrade, sort of an upgraded version of the demo to be available on the Play Store in the very, very near future, where you can experience all of the integration types of our technologies, Jingle, in one application. That being said, if you could kindly reach out to me via direct message or on Telegram, or reach out to the team via email, we will look into that error for you and ensure that you can onboard into the demo platform, easily.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and it was a pleasure. I heard great things about you from the team when they met you in Jamaica. So that was, thank you very much for your time and taking the time to meet the team out there. That's brilliant. Thank you, Brickman.
Yeah. Always willing to do what I can. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. And do we have anybody else? I don't see any updates on the patent. We have multiple patents registered. We register patents in a different way than a traditional company might register patents, but they are registered, they are secure. And we actually have a few patents. Perhaps I can invite Gary to one of the next calls and he can touch on some of the patents that we have registered. Any more live speakers, please, guys? I think we're wrapping up here. Dragos, Alex, would you like to say a few words before we close out on the VoIP side of things? I know it's been busy for you guys. Dragos is working probably 20-hour days right now. As I said, we are a small, lean team, but we work very, very hard, and we love what we do. And Dragos is an amazing team member, and Dragos, please.
Thank you for the nice words, Josh. We are working very hard on this side, and VoIP is growing. On our part of the team, we see very big improvements in voice quality through our AI-driven telecom system that we are using. The switch right now is busier than ever. We are seeing more traffic passing through the network. Over the past months, we upgraded the backend of the switch, and we introduced those AI tools to help optimize routing and call performance, and we see very good results. We are now seeing this very clearly. and the voice quality is improving. ASR is stronger than ever, and we have also better ACD across all the channels, which means calls are lasting longer and the network is more stable. We are seeing also fewer errors, 503, 408 for the people in the telecom. And we are continuing to improve our routing on the switch. Our clients are very happy with the quality and the reliability. And from the NOC side, we monitor everything closely and continue improving our system every day. That's, I think, I covered most of the things we are doing. I can't enter in many details, but we'll show this soon on our live streaming on how the things are working.
Thank you, Dragos. Really appreciate all of your help day to day. We have a great team here, so I'd like to say thank you very much to the team that work with us day in, day out. We really make each other. Many late nights with the team on Google Meets. I believe some of the ambassadors recently were invited to the end or middle of some of those meetings to just catch up on some bits. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, what an incredible time. How incredibly lucky or smart we are to be where we are. And very grateful for the community support, the support of the partners. If anybody would like to get involved with any of the initiatives, anybody has any suggestions or anything to sort of say, never hesitate to reach out. My DMs are always open, and as are the DMs of the other team members. And thank you very much for attending today's event. We look forward to the next event. I think we'll be hosting the next event at the end of March, just to wrap up on the quarter and review the progress this quarter. So again, we're very, very happy to be where we are. We appreciate your time, whether it's the morning, day, evening, afternoon, night. We wish you a lovely rest of your day, and big smiles from the team. Thank you very much again. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank
Super
you,
exciting
gentlemen.
time. Let's
Absolutely.
go.
Let's go indeed. Let's go. Okay. As Mickey always says, over but not out.